When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech for Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech for Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, everyone, welcome to the IWM Broadcast Network, and tonight we are in Chicago for the Chicago Road Race as we cover the second race in our first round of 16. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with John Derudris, and we're waiting for practice to finish up, and then we're about to go qualifying.
We're in the Windy City, and this is the street circuit, and Rick, let me tell you, this race always produces spectacular finishes. Has a lot of action going on, and we're about to see who can conquer this street course that is Chicago. 2.14 miles, 12 turns. It's going to be a wild one. Now we have a 10-minute qualifying tonight, simply because of how long this street circuit is. But at the end of it, we're about to see who can actually tame this wild course. Now, Rick, I know a lot of drivers like it. A lot of them don't. I'm curious. What are your thoughts on this track?
I think it's fun. I'm not very good at it. I struggle with it. But we're currently watching Chris Worrell. Chris won last week and locked himself into the playoffs. And we'll see how he does here at Chicago. He's already punched his ticket to the playoffs, so this is basically just fun. Yeah,
it definitely is. It's just one of these races for him to maybe knock somebody else out that he doesn't want to face here in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see how Chris Worrell does, but
we
looking on board.
Yeah, we could go on board, and we also could cover, we got lots of time. We got to cover the playoff race and as well as your keys. But let's go on board with Chris.
Currently going through turn 8, turn 9, and have a hard right-hander to turn 10. Passing the McDonald's signs, go through turn 11 right here. Cross over another bridge. And make his way down South Columbus Drive to the start-finish line. Gonna go flat out all the way down here.
This is his first real qualifying lap.
And the goal is to get as close to that wall as you can get in the corners.
He's working
He's
hard.
letting it all hang out. Yeah, he is. A lot of drivers will overdrive this corner right here. This is turn 4.
Oh, he just
right
did.
there. Yep.
And this is
It's very easy to do.
Yep, and this is iRacing, so if you make a mistake, you are going to do it again. This is Lilith Peters from inside her car. You're almost, with it being what it is, you're almost better off just driving maybe a little bit conservatively. This is the same corner right here. So then about to head down to the start and finish line after this corner.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, you just almost have to let the car handle itself a little bit, because if you press the gas and give it a little bit more throttle during a bump or an untimely shift in elevation, you're going to go around, or you're going to get loose, and you're not going to be able to control this car. Turn 2 right here is very difficult to get the car woed down. Often you see a lot of drivers will lose the back end of the car coming out of turn 2. But we'll see how Lilith does going into right now turn 3 and turn 4. We saw Chris Royal have some issues. She gets through.
Rather nicely, actually. Gets really very well.
And as we see on the left-hand side, we have some times populating on the board right now. James Lowe at the top, followed by Maxwell Caldwell, Garrett Johnston, Christopher Howell, and Todd Merkel.
John definitely navigating this.
Lose some visibility right there, but it's all good. Here we go down into turn 12 again. See what time Peters puts on the boards. Up to P2. Very nicely done.
Waiting for our graphics to pop back in. They're struggling here a bit. Try and change our server, see if that helps us a little bit.
Looking right now at the 84 car of Jesse Vaughn.
Andrew Bushy is now on top of the board. All right, well, these drivers finished their qualifying efforts. Let's kind of cover a couple other topics. Let's cover the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what's going on in the playoff standings. Right now, we saw Christopher Royal win last week, so he's locked in. We got a fierce battle, though, that has formed right now with all of these Tech for Troop Cup Series drivers now. And this is a little bit of a wild card because you have some drivers that might be towards that cutoff line when we go from 16 to 10 that could steal a win here, which would really shake things up. So, I mean, thinking about all these drivers that are still qualifying, you know, and kind of tying into my key a little bit, going into track position, you have to have the track position here at Chicago to be able to get the job done. And so right now we see Andrew Pileshi, Lilith Peters, Maxwell Caldwell, Austin Call at the top of the board. And looking at their names here on the chart, Lilith right there sitting in third. You have Chuck Van Scoik is in fifth. But looking down towards, Christopher Howell, Ty Bostic, Cody Sturgill, what can they do tonight? Looking at Sammy Harrell and John Ledger, a lot of drivers need solid runs here. And, you never know. You might be able to steal a win from some of these more seasoned veterans here on the Chicago street circuit to make your way. So while it could be a race of favorites, it could also be a race of the wild cards if they just keep their car clean and survive.
Yeah, we've seen definitely Lilith Peters has dominated a number of road races, but there's a lot of new names in the Tech for Troops Cup Series. Andrew Pileshi, Jesse Vaughn's come back for this race here. A number of guys that Maxwell Caldwell, Austin Call. These are all new names, and they're working their way up the leaderboard, especially in these road courses. So this is all going to be completely new for us, and could be an interesting night.
Very well could right now, looking and seeing. Got about 2.5 minutes left until we go green here in the streets of Chicago. And Rick, while we're just talking about this race, let's bring up some of the track facts and see what we got on hand tonight for the Tech for Troop Cup Series race from the Chicago Street Circuit. So again, this is the second race in the round of 16. So there is going to be drivers that are trying to win to get in.
Yep, we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty. As the server that's feeding us the race information is dragging a bit, so bear with us as we try to reload some of these overlays here.
No worries, but you can see the great skyline of Chicago right there. It's really awesome to see how the realism is added into iRacing.
Here we go.
There we go. All right, so we got a 77-degree day here in Chicago. This race will be 40 laps, pit road speed at 45 miles an hour, no quick repairs, 3 sets of tires, 60% fuel, and 3 green, white checker restarts. The track temp is very, very hot. So we're looking at 120 degrees.
Yikes. All right, why don't we cover our keys for today's race?
For sure, let's do that. So looking into this race, and I talked about it a little bit before, you have to have track position on your side. That is number one. So when it comes to the Chicago street circuit, there is not going to be a full course caution unless the admins throw one. So you have to be up near the front. Now, of course, you can have some issues. You can hit the wall, but your best course of action is probably starting up as front as possible. And also this ties in my second key, which is going to be to survive. So this track and this race is almost like a super speedway of sorts. If you could survive it and get to the end, you might be able to come out in a top 5 and a top 10. So you may see some guys qualify 10th, 15th, maybe even further on back. And some of the guys up front have issues. And next thing you know, you see some of those guys that are in the back finishing up in the top 10 and having a good day. So you have to survive. And number 3, clean pit stops. So coming out of turn 12, pit road is very difficult to get on and get out of. So making sure that you maximize your entry speed and your exit speed without going over the limit is going to be essential for gaining the time on track where, you may be able to win or beat out another driver simply because you had a faster run down pit road. So, Rick, looks like we got the field ready to grid up here. Let's see if we can bring up our starting lineup for tonight's Tech for Troops Cup Series event from Chicago. So we got Andrew Pileshi on pole with Lilith Peters in second, Maxwell Caldwell starting in third, Austin Call starting in fourth, James Lowe in P5 with Justin Lewis starting in sixth, Nathan Harper starting in seventh, Jesse Vaughn starting in eighth, Garrett Johnston starting in ninth, and Greg Stone starting in 10th.
William Corinne is in 11th, Sammy Harrell is in 12th, in 13th, Chuck Van Scoik, Jeremy Flanagan in 14th, Christopher Howell in 15th, and John Ledger in 16th. Justin Horton finds himself in 17th with Todd Merkel, who is outside, in 18th. Christoph Hall in 19th, and Aaron Jackson in 20th.
In 21st, Marco Berube. 22nd, Brandon Brown. 23rd, you have Chris Farrell, and starting 24th is Aiden Lucas. Starting in the 25th position is Chad Jones, with Ty Bostic starting at 26th. Luke Bullard in the number 3 starts in 27th, with Dustin Coggin starting in P28. In P29, you have Rodney Uberpacker, Dalton Schley starting there in 30th, and Pete Woodrum starting in the 31st position.
All right, waiting for the field to grid up. So waiting on a couple of drivers. They've got a little bit of time to make their way onto the starting grid. But we'll have a short parade lap, and then we'll get this race underway.
Yes, we will.
All right, we've got 31 entries in tonight's event. And man, it just is amazing just what a great turnout we get for this series each and every week. We've got new faces as this season is about to wrap up, and looking forward to next season.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season next season. Excited to see what we got on hand. And we're about to get this race underway. It's going to be a short little pace lap here. We're already in the back portions of this track as we see the 91 leading this field down.
It's super challenging here to get this to get organized. You've only got a couple of corners left here, and you're going to go to green flag racing, so you've got to play catch up. You see a number of drivers scrambling to get caught up and side by side because it is a 2-wide start.
It is a 2-wide start, so
this
we got
our only bad camera angle. Our camera was not able to get clear of that tree there, but we'll do our best to get around it.
Well, all right. Well, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. We have these Tech Troop Cup Series drivers. Second race of the playoffs in Season 5. Pace car makes its way down. Andrew Pileshi is the control car, and we're green flag racing from the streets of Chicago in the Windy City. What's going to happen in Turn 1?
Turn 1's a disaster. You see drivers already locking up everywhere. We expect to see it again. This is a road course, so there rarely, if ever, will be a full course yellow. You've really got, if you get in trouble, you've got to get yourself out of it.
Yep, we already see the field 2 by 2 by 2, while the 91 simply just checks out. See a pass potentially being made. Will Peters and the 94 side by side as we go down into Turn 4. Oh, we got some contact in the back.
Car spinning in the back. So you're seeing that crawl across the top, and you see drivers highlighted in blue, and occasionally a driver highlighted in gold. The blue are our playoff drivers, and the gold is someone who has already punched their ticket into the next round. That happens to be only one driver right now. That is Mr. Worrell. Mr. Worrell has punched his ticket.
Yes, he has. We right now have a lot going on track. We're about to complete lap number 1 here in the Chicago Street Course race.
Andrew Pileshi has really moved out, got himself a little bit of a gap between himself and Will Peters. Not too big, but she's right on his tail. James Lowe right there in third. I'm trying to bring up that graphic with our timing tower now that we've got some drivers.
Oh, we have a car on the wall. Garrett Johnston. Number 15 is in the wall in Turn 1.
He definitely has some front end damage on that 15 Valvoline car. Now, as we've talked about before, this series has no quick repair. So if you wreck it, it's on you to fix it in the pits, or you're calling it a day.
Absolutely correct. So got to be careful with your car here, and that's why I say just if somebody's faster, move out of the way. Make it easy for you, make it easy for them, so you don't put yourself in a bad situation.
Yeah, we will definitely see some attrition here. It's bound to happen. So
it is bound to happen. Looks like the 18 has an issue. 18 is in the wall.
Yep. 18 definitely impacted the wall and has gotten cycle back a bit. You can see the damage on that left front of that 18 Foxfire, and actually he's slowing down to let drivers go. Definitely probably has some damage, and you don't have a lot of opportunities. If you're at the other end, it takes a long time to limp that car back. You can see he's got maybe a tie rod. That right front tie rod is gone.
Yeah, this is not good for the 18. I mean, his day is all but done. I don't know if that car can even be fixed. He's going to bang the wall.
Yep, he's trying to make his way back onto pit road. Number of drivers on pit road, William Corinne Jr. He can barely turn a corner here with the damage that is on that 18, and he limps his way into pit road.
He made it. That's the point.
Yeah.
He made it all the way around.
A number of pit road cameras, none of them are worth a darn right now. So.
We have William Corinne with a meatball flag, as well as Justin Horton. That's why he came down pit road, and what that means is basically iRacing is like, you have too much damage to move on, to keep on going, so you have to come down pit road and fix it. So tough breaks for those two drivers.
We're now watching up front, Andrew Pileshi, Lilith Peters, James Lowe, all definitely right on each other's tails, not far apart. The gap is relatively minimal. Looking at that gap data is pretty small. Looking back here, a bit farther back, this is a bunch of drivers here. This is Nathan Harper in the 4. But he's got Jesse Vaughn right there.
Yep.
Justin Lewis, Austin Call, and Max Caldwell as well, all battling for that's positions 4 through 8. Oh, Jesse Vaughn just tagged the wall pretty hard. Again, that's one of those things where you just can't do it too many. You can get away with it a little bit on an oval, but the way that you impact the wall on these turns is sure to really damage the suspension on these cars.
It does, especially if your toe's messed up, if you're not aligned, it could really change your trajectory. Oh, we got a 12 around.
That's Aaron Jackson spun.
Any little change in how your car is a big. It has a big effect on how you drive, how the tires wear, and seeing some action right here now going through. That's Christoph Hall getting passed by Aiden Lucas.
A little bit of contact with the 98 and that wall there. Guys make their way headed towards the start-finish line. Already this is lap 5 complete.
At the top of the board, Andrew Pileshi, Lilith Peters, James Lowe, Austin Call, and Austin Lewis. Your current top 5, they are separated by about 4.5 seconds from first to 5th.
That was a 17 going around. That's Rodney Uberbacher. Haven't seen Rodney in a while. Came back out for tonight. Justin Lewis
43's around too. 43 is stopped.
That's 43 of Sammy Harrell.
Oh. Yeah, that left front looks a little bent.
As does that bit of damage on that right front as well. To see just what happens here as he makes his way through this next corner. Really, you can tell how the car bites through that next corner is just indicative of how much damage is on that car. 3 cars on pit road: Jesse Vaughn, John Ledger, and Justin Morton in the pits.
Speaking of Jesse Vaughn, he got a meatball flag, so had to come down pit road and get that fixed.
All right, back up front, Andrew Palesci and Lilith Peters are up kind of by themselves a bit here. Looking on the track map.
Lilith has closed that gap down to 1.24 seconds.
Back and see. Nope. A little bit of contact with the safer barrier there by the 01.
Chad Jones hard into the wall. He keeps it on going. But that car is all out of whack. Looks like he got a meatball flag too.
Chuck
that car
Van
cannot
Scoyne
turn.
also got in trouble. So here we are 7 laps in. We're beginning to see attrition here.
Garrett Johnston meatball flag as well.
Same with Chad Jones, also a meatball, the 70. So it's just one of those tracks where there's very little room for error. You've really got to drive cautiously. Looking at the 15 of Garrett Johnston. Could then make his way onto pit road here. He's gonna probably sit for a while trying to get that car repaired. See the damage on that nose of that 15.
Yeah, pretty tough track here with Chicago. And Rick, let's talk about some of these playoff implications. So Lilith right now, if she wins, she makes it into the round of 10. But so does James Lowe, who is 7.1 seconds behind the leaders. So we'll see how he can make his way up through the field here. Got a little bit of a lap car in front of the 91. See how Andrew will navigate that. Whoa, he wrecked. Oh, Lilith involved. Oh, man.
Looks like she did okay. Not a whole lot of damage, it appears. But unfortunately, that allowed the 91 to really get a huge gap.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. I wonder if the vision was, a little impaired there from the 01. Just didn't see the car. If the car just spun.
Well, the car stopped and she was coming out of the corner. There was no chance. Try to figure out who that car was that was there.
I'm not sure. Oh no, she has major issues. Just locked it up big time. There's James Lowe. So this race turning south quick, unfortunately, for the 01.
She's got a little bit of nose damage.
Now, that car is dancing around like crazy. That the 07 of James Lowe right behind Lilith Peters is going to try to make a move here sometime. See as we go through some of the least visible parts of the track.
It's like the only spot our cameras are blind on.
Rick, I think she has a little bit more damage than we think. I just looked at the front end of her car. It is pretty just caved in. So we'll see how much that affects that car's drive.
She's locking up
again.
Hard into the wall.
Yeah, something definitely is not right on that 01 car, unfortunately.
And she is way out of position. She's got to make it all the way back around to get to the pits. You've got Austin Call, that's not far. James Lowe has made his way around her. Now you've got the 47 coming up behind her now.
Yeah, the 47's been running some of the fastest laps on the track the last couple laps. Actually, last lap was his fastest lap, or was the fastest lap between all drivers. So see the brake rotors glowing on all of these Tech for Troop Cup Series cars.
They are hard on the brakes coming into these corners. Yeah, you can definitely see more of a bit of a damage on that right front. Doesn't quite show there much, but definitely struggling. The one of Pete Woodrum has retired. She decided not to come in. She's going to drive through it.
Well,
all right, but we can bring up the gap information. And that puts Andrew Blushy, he's got over 6 seconds in front of James Lowe.
yeah, James Lowe has cut down that gap quite a bit, though, from the last time. It was around 7 seconds, so that gap is closing. That 01 is skating. That 91 is driving away.
I'm really impressed, though, that the 01 has kind of closed the gap back on the 07.
Maybe the tires got a little hot, so it was the only thing that she could do is kind of woe it down a little bit and get the car to. Oh, she overdrove that one just a little bit.
Yep. Sort of the 47, though. That's the funny thing about iRacing, especially on a road course. You really have, if you're fixated on the driver in front of you, and if they make a mistake, you're sometimes doomed to make the same mistake.
Correct.
Go on board with Austin Call. Really working through all the gears down to first gear in that corner.
Doing a great job.
Using the downshift and the engine to slow that car down. Up to 135 miles an hour, just having to slam it down to almost nothing to make through these corners. That's the 47 of Austin Call. One of the newer drivers here on the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. Again, this series is sponsored by Tech for Troops as well as Goat Racing Diecast. And certainly we could not do what we do without their help. As you may have noticed, we've kind of made an improvement to our broadcasting booth and our team and our truck. So if you have the capabilities to watch this in 4K, you are welcome to. We are now broadcasting in full 4K to YouTube.
All I know is you're getting a treat. I mean, it looks great. One of the best quality broadcasts you'll probably find out there on the internet of anything sim racing, I would imagine. So excited to have that, and excited to be able to bring this awesome coverage.
That's the 99. Is that Marco Ruby kind of limping around there? Well, let's look back through the field a bit. Let's go back to 8. This is Aiden Lucas in the 10. Currently showing in 8th position.
Aiden running pretty solid laps, pretty consistent, but doing what you got to do here. Just staying consistent and staying out of trouble. He's gained 16 spots. Actually, he's the biggest mover of the race so far, and he's done that by being clean. Now his fastest lap is 1.5 seconds off Andrew Pileshi. Let me just tell you that right now. But this is what I was talking about. If you keep your car clean and out of trouble, this is what can happen.
Jumping on down to 10th and 13th, the guys from Southern E Motorsports are running in 12th and 13th. Andrew Pileshi is on pit road. For 14 laps, he's in for probably fuel and tires.
One of our first.
Fuel.
Yeah, I mean, saves you time. Might as well do it,
Yeah.
Well, hold on. That's a pretty long stop. He had a meatball flag.
Right. Whoa. So just like that,
Yeah, look at his left front. Look at his left front tire, Rick.
it's not turning.
Back.
It still has damage. He's out, but he's not going to make these corners. He's back in the.
Yeah, look, see what I'm talking about? That left front is completely towed out.
Yep. Just like that. Success at the top. Unfortunately, that left front's completely damaged. He's going to have to go back in the pits and just try to work to get that repaired. But yes, he's out there, but I'm not sure how long he can stay out. Austin Call is also on pit road. I don't see any obvious damage on that car. Yeah, there is damage. There is left front damage on that car. All right, that puts James Lowe on top of the leaderboard, out in front with Lilith Peters right on his tail.
Yeah, this is the battle now for the lead. The 07 and the 01.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You won't miss anything. We'll just go side by side and pretty much not miss a bit of the action. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech for Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech for Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech for Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech for Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, again, thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series playoffs, and we are in Chicago for the Chicago Street Race. There are 25 laps to go. A lot of drama so far, but right now James Lowe is your leader. Lilith Peters in second, Justin Lewis in third, Maxwell Caldwell in fourth, and Nathan Harper is sitting in fifth. They're coming up onto some lap traffic.
Yeah, and this is going to be the tricky situation here, trying to navigate these lap down cars.
That's John Ledger there as they get by John. That's not a whole lot of a challenge. Oh, and Lilith almost loops it around, but she saves it. I do see Chris Worrell is in the pits. He's got damage.
Oh yeah, he does. Christoph Hall has got a meatball flag. Dalton Schley, William Corinne, Chad Jones out of the race.
Yeah, as we talked about before, with a track like this, with 12 corners like they are, it is so easy to miscalculate, and you'll wind up hitting that retaining wall in such a way where you will inflict some serious, potentially lethal damage on your race car. You can see some of the walking wounded, in effect, driving, making their way around. The 98 of Christoph Hall just went by. He's got damage to both the left front and the right front nose of that race car, so he's struggling to get around.
The walking wounded. I like that. Or the driving wounded, I guess.
Driving wounded, yeah. 98 also, now that is Christoph Hall. He's got a meatball flag. He's going to have to come in next time by and get that car repaired.
Justin Horton has another meatball flag. So have to make it to the back down pit road. And this race is just not boding well for a lot of drivers tonight, Rick.
Well, we kind of had expected it. This is a challenging track. It's relatively new on the circuit. It's a street course. And it's here to differentiate. It rewards those drivers who have the street skills, the chops to conquer a road course. It's not forgiving. Watkins Glen is forgiving to some extent. There's some bailouts, whereas here you have no bailout. You have a concrete retaining wall on both sides.
Exactly.
So 23 laps to go, almost to the halfway point here at Chicago. Great racing so far. James Lowe out in front. Let's kind of go through so we'll bring up their driver information, and we'll go through the field. Right there in second, you got Lilith Peters. Justin Lewis, Columbus, Indiana, in third. Maxwell Caldwell from Murray, Kentucky. Far back, Nathan Harper, and I'm not sure what's up with our paint schemes tonight, but some are showing and some are not. Austin Call in the 47, Spring, Texas. There's Abe Lucas in 7th. Christopher Howell back there in 8th.
Looks like the 98 got a black flag for speeding, apparently. That is the latest report.
Well, that adds insult to injury. He's already struggling, so. Yeah, it looks like the 22's paint scheme is not showing up. Not exactly sure what's going on with
Rick, we got a
paints.
5 meatball flag.
That is Greg Stone. He is in the pits. Here's the 72 of Jeremy Flanagan. He is in 10th. Andrew Plushy is back out and still making it around with one tire pointing in. One goes in one direction and one's in the other, but he's in 11th.
It's impressive. I mean, he's running, you know, about 2.5 seconds off his fastest lap. So, I mean, I guess it's the best he could do. I mean, it's doing well. I'm surprised he's able to make it around the track.
Bullet in the 3 is sitting right now in 12th. Chuck Van Scoik is there in the 23. He is currently in 13th position. A little hard to see the 23 from that camera angle, but there he is. Rodney Packer in the 17. And Brandon Brown in the 68. Currently in 15th. That's Lilith Peters right there. Headed into the pits at about that halfway point for these drivers. And James Lowe is also, that's James Lowe also on pit road. They're both coming in for service.
These are big pit stops for these guys.
Got some damage repaired. Just fuel.
Just fuel. I think just fuel for both the 07 and the 01 now back on track. Both still in the lead.
20 laps left to go. We are at the halfway point here in the Tech for Troops Cup Series event here at the Chicago Street Course. We thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. You're enjoying our broadcast tonight. Again, as we said earlier, we have now moved to a 4K broadcast, and we're hoping it looks as good as it looks here in the studio. Number of drivers on pit road to the 91 in for service. He's in just for fuel and whatever repairs he can get.
Looking and seeing, we got Dustin Coggin got a meatball flag. That's the 42 machine. And with all these meatball flags, you can make spaghetti or a lot of meatball subs.
Do something, that's for sure. All right, our leader James Lowe continues to dominate, but he's got Lilith Peters right on his tail. That's going to be a battle once we get down to the lap 38, lap 39. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, you cannot make a mistake if you're either one of these drivers. I mean, I think the advantage goes to the 07 because that 01 is slightly wounded. We'll see how this race plays out, though, for the 01. Andrew Pileski, another meatball flag, unfortunately. So his night.
It's the 7.
Oh my gosh,
wrecked.
the leaders.
Yo, 7 is wrecked. He had to tow out of there. He is toast.
What happened? We need to go back and take a look at that replay. Oh, we got another car in the back wrecked as we are talking.
Here's the 07. He overcooked it. Right
Bounced
in the
off.
tires.
And hard hit for the 01. James Lowe meatball flag. That 01 car, I don't know how that car is going to keep on going in the right direction, Rick. Oh, into the wall. 01 hard into the wall. That car is beaten and battered, but still going in the right way.
She's still on top of the leaderboard. But,
by about 4 seconds.
Yeah, but lots of damage to the 01. To the Justin Horton car. That's got some damage as well.
Awesome call makes its way down pit road.
Just 11 cars left on the lead lap right now with 18 laps to go. Lots of damage. Fortunately for the 07, I think his night is over.
No, his night is done.
That's a shame.
Now Lilith pulls out to a 10-second gap.
A little bit of action back here in 10th. Christopher Howell, I think, went around. Brandon Brown also involved, as well as Luke Bullard.
'15 meatball flag again. Rick.
Garrett Johnson.
Yep. We got, again, make a nice meatball sub.
Number of drivers still in the pits: James Lowe, Garrett Johnston, Jared Craig Stone, Christoph Hall, Dustin Coggin, all getting service to their vehicles.
And looking at these lap times by Lilith, Rick, we're about to see what this final lap will be right here. Last time, almost 3 full seconds off her fastest lap. Excuse me, almost 4 seconds off. This time by, she was 2 seconds off her fastest lap. So that car is wounded. Will Justin Lewis have enough time to catch the 01 though? That's the big question.
Well, let's bring up that gap. He's 11 seconds back. What he can do, right? So right now we're marking that at 11 seconds and change. See what kind of trouble. So he's by himself. Car looks clean. Well, he's got a little bit of damage, but not terrible. So the 43 of Sammy Harrell just tagged the safer barrier.
You know, Rick, I think you called it earlier, Battle of Attrition is definitely the name of the game tonight. Attrition City out here.
Yep, sure is. Chris Farrell finds himself 4 laps down. That's an unusual spot for Chris.
Well, that's why that win last week is so valuable. When you have a week like this, you can just brush it off, move on.
Actually, that gap between Lilith Peters and Justin Lewis has actually grown.
It has, last time by.
Yeah. So, wounded or not, Lilith Peters has found herself in the enviable position to be by herself leading this race. Looking at the track map, she's got the 23 of Chuck Van Scoyk at the end of that straightaway. That's in front of her, but Chuck is actually he is the last car on the lead lap.
Yep, only 10 cars on the lead lap, so
All right, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll be right back, but you won't miss a thing. We'll be side by side.
Hi, America. Mark Castro, President of Tech for Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to the IWM Broadcast Network. We thank you for tuning in tonight to our broadcast of the Chicago Street Race. Right now, Lilith Peters out front and leading this race. If you've been watching along, you've realized we've had all kinds of great leaders so far. We had the 07 of James Lowe out there until he had an incident. We had, who else was out there leading?
Andrew Pileshi.
Andrew Pileshi, yep, till he also had an incident. So it's super easy to make a mistake here. All it takes is one bad corner and your night is done. Lilith has survived a number of incidents so far and finds herself out front in good shape. All right. So if you're tuning into the IWM Network for the first time, we appreciate you tuning in. And if you could, feel free to like and subscribe. You'll be updated as to when our broadcasts are going on, and you won't miss a video. Also, since we're now broadcasting exclusively on the YouTube network, you can also be notified when our events are happening. You can actually, our races are now going to be scheduled, so you can see in the live column when you go into our channel and be notified when those events are about to kick off. So you'll see that next week's race already is posted. We will be at Kansas, I believe, next week for the final round of the round of 16. That will be our cut race, and we'll move on to we're cutting 6 drivers away. So we'll be going from 16 down to 10 as we make it down to the next round.
Wow.
Now this is the final season that we do like we do here. This we ran the last 5 seasons in effect a split season. We ran 2 seasons per year, but next year we are committed to run the entire NASCAR series. So we'll start in February and we'll run to November, and we'll run 36 races, I believe, next year on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights.
Should be an exciting season. To have a full schedule on board is really cool to do, and the fact that we're going to have as much participation as we will, you definitely don't want to miss that, and see who can battle their way through and become technically the season 6 champion. So right now, your season 4 champion out leading the race. Looks like the 22 got a meatball flag. That is Ty Bostic. He's going to have to make his way down pit road.
22 is fairly lucky. He is coming off. He's only got a couple of corners he can get back to the pits and get that taken care of. But what I did
Bullard
notice,
also has one.
What I also did notice, John, is that Justin Lewis has cut that gap. He's now just 9.8 seconds back.
Yeah, the last time by, Lilith ran a 1:33.7. Justin ran a 1:30.15. So that's 2 seconds faster. We'll see what these lap times are looking like, but that 01 car seems to be struggling quite a bit now.
She's about to come up, I think, on some lap traffic. With just 13 laps to go. All right, she's about to come up to pretty much the cars are the tail end of the lead lap. That's going to be Christopher Howell and Chuck Van Scoik. And they're battling hard to stay relevant.
They are.
That's the 98 that Lilith is working her way around. That's Christoph Hall still on the track. And that's the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik right there. You can tell these drivers are really paying attention to what's going on, not wanting to make a mistake. It's too easy to screw up.
It definitely is.
Jumping over to the 3 of Luke Bullard, he was involved in something. Oh yeah, definitely some damage on the nose of that number 3. Take a look at Justin Lewis here. That gap is now 8.5 seconds with 12 laps to go.
It's closing, Rick. It's closing down. Last time by, 131.7 for Lilith. For Justin, 130.6, a full second faster now, with just 11 laps to go.
He's right now running around 8 seconds back. He's really going to pick up 1 second plus per lap.
Yeah, if he does that, which it looks like he's doing, I mean, he is closing that gap quick. He could play spoiler here at Chicago.
Nathan Harper is currently sitting in 3rd. He is currently 2nd in the points. Really first in the points is Christopher Morrell has already punched his ticket. He's good. So really Justin Lewis is first, right?
Yes.
Without the win, but he's currently sitting, Nathan Harper rather, is currently sitting in first points-wise. And he is sitting in 3rd.
Looks like the 94 and the 06 got a meatball flag.
Maxwell Caldwell. You know, Max was fast during practice.
He was.
All right, Justin Lewis now 6.6 seconds back. That gap is closing rapidly as he works his way around. Oh, almost a little sideways as he dirt tracked through that last turn. He's got the 98, I believe, of Christoph Hall in front of him. Now with just 10 laps to go. Here
10
at
to
Chicago.
go. Yep. It's going to be a great battle. See if that 01 car can keep the lead down to 7 seconds. Last time by was a 131.2 for Lilith, a 130.3 for Justin.
Man, he is chewing through that gap and making up time. Oh, big
Oh.
wreck. Chris, that's the 98 of Christoph Hall. He hit that wall hard.
He did.
The 50 is putting in some solid times here. These are like qualifying times.
It's consistent too. All right, that last time by, Lilith a 130.3. Justin Lewis 130.5. Oh,
Lilith is stepping it up. She may be listening to our broadcast and keeping up with what's going on.
I mean, I would too.
"19 cars still remaining on this track. 8 cars still on the lead lap as this track has basically taken its toll on these drivers." Oh, see the 3 go around. That is Luke Bullard. He needs to move that car out of the way.
98 meatball flag again. 50 has a little bit of, oh! Thought the 50 was going to lock it up there.
Yeah, the
Good
88
move.
was right there, worked around cleanly. So he's got a little bit of traffic he's dealing with. Now let's jump up to where Lilith is. She's in traffic. She's got the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik, who's the last car on the lead lap. And the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. Those are 2 cars for position right there. That is
Yes, they
6
are.
and 7. And they're racing hard. They're trying to stay on the lead lap. So
I mean, do what you got to do. Oh, watch out, 23. Hey, Rick, last time by, 131.7 for Lilith, 130.6 for the 50.
that gap is now down to 4.5 seconds. This traffic has really taken its toll on the gap between the 01 and the 50. He's now in her rearview mirror. And now the 50 is going to have to deal with these 2 cars.
We'll see how nice they'll play.
All right, 8 laps to go. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech for Troops? Tech for Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to techfortroops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech for Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops Cup Series playoff race here in Chicago. We've got a bit of a nail biter here as we're coming down with just 7 laps to go. Lilith Peters out in front with the 50 of Justin Lewis closing the gap with just 4.4 seconds behind. Last time by, Justin Lewis, I think, put up his fastest time of the race with a 1:30.39. Lilith Peters' last lap, 1:32.18.
Yeah, it's getting down to the wire here, and that gap is starting to close. But Rick, that all of a sudden the gap is growing very severely now. It looks like the 50 is caught behind the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik. He's got to get around this. Oh, 23 cut him off a little bit there in turn 12.
23 is not doing him any favors, racing him super hard, but hey, Chuck's a playoff driver.
All right, last time by, Lilith ran 2.3 seconds faster with 6 laps to go. But there's nobody between the 50 and the 01 now. We'll see how fast that 50 can run down that 01. You needed literally a second a lap. That's all you need. Next closest driver is Aiden Lucas, who is 43 seconds back, Rick.
Oh, I think the 50 is running super hard. There appears to be a bit more damage. He may have had some contact with some of those walls, especially after trying to work his way around some of the traffic. That gap is now closing between these two.
It's closing quick. Down to 5.5 seconds.
We'll see as they make their way through this set of corners and cross the line. We'll get some more details as to where they stand and how their laps went. With just approximately 5 laps to go.
All right, let's see the times at the line. Last time by 1:31.1 for Lilith, 1:31 flat for Justin Lewis. So he's gaining,
yeah, but he's not going to catch
fast
her.
enough. Yeah, not fast enough.
Down to 17 cars on the track, as this track has owned these drivers today in the Tech for Troops Cup Series. Certainly has not made it easy. A little bit of loose there with the 50 as he races super hard. Again, that gap is 5.5 seconds.
5.5. Trying everything he can. You can see the brake rotors glowing severely there.
Jumping back to Aiden Lucas here. He is currently solidly in third. He's got about a 4-second gap between himself. And, you know, his car is pretty clean.
It is.
We're going back to the 4th position, Nathan Harper. Nathan is a teammate of Lilith Peters and also Jeremy Flanagan, who is currently in 5th. Jeremy is also a Kaiju Cat Motorsports driver, is in 5th. So Kaiju Cat well represented here, pretty much with 3 out of the top 5. And I say that just as the 72 slams into the retaining wall. Broadcaster's curse, I guess. I'm sorry, Jeremy. You can blame that one on me.
Yeah, hey, at least it wasn't me this time. Oftentimes it's me. So, all fun and games here. And right now, with 4 laps to go, I don't know if that 01 is all fun and games. It's all focus, drive. The gap has closed down to just 5.01 seconds. The 2 car has a meatball flag. Rick?
Yep, that's Todd Merkel with 1320 Racing Enterprises.
Oh, 01 locked it up big time.
She saved it though. She did not wind up in the wall, but that's going to definitely affect how she makes it through these next few corners. Those tires are certainly hot, and this is a crafty part of the track here. You've got to really work to get through these corners. She's loose again.
Locked it up again. Yeah. See, once you lock it up once, it's much more likely to lock it up again. Rick, that gap is closed down to 4.1 seconds. With just 3 laps to go now at the line, we're going to see the lap times. For Lilith, that was a 1:31.4. For Justin Lewis, that was a 1:30.6.
Oh, he just made a mistake. Justin Lewis, as he came out of turn 1 major, he wound up slamming the wall. That's going to hurt him.
Well, we've seen the 01 do it. We've seen other cars do it. Let's see how much that's going to affect the 50 now with 3 laps to go. 01 hits the wall. That 50's there. 4 seconds, Rick.
It's close. Just 36 turns to go before she's able to call this race.
So what do you do? 50's almost around. Lost the back end of it. So let's say you are the 50 and you get to the 01. What do? Do you race for the win? Because you're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to be a bit respectful of, you just can't put a bumper to the car.
Yeah. And we got a lap car in front of the 01. Might be a little inopportune. She might catch that car in the middle of turn 1, which could, actually, I think is her teammate.
Oh, that car that's the 18. That's the Justin Horton in the wall. The gap is really not, he's not gaining.
Not at all. Gap is now 4.2 seconds, 4.3 seconds.
Just 5 cars on the lead lap. Got the 99 of Marco Berube in front of the 01.
17 and 18 cars have meatball flags, Rick.
That's Rodney Uberpacker in the 17. The 18 is Justin Horton. 01 gets around the 99.
Rick, the gap is 3.1 seconds. I feel like I'm watching the race we had this past year. Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman. Same color car out front. I believe Tyler Reddick was driving the orange Beast Unleashed car as well. Not similar numbers, but hey, we have the white flag here. The gap is 2.8 seconds. Right now, Rick, Justin Lewis was 1.8 seconds faster than Lilith Peters.
Yep, but he's 2.5 seconds behind. Unless the 01 makes a dramatic error, she is going to win this race here in Chicago. Last lap, Lilith Peters out front, Justin Lewis in second, Aiden Lucas in third. 2.4 is the gap, 2.3.
01 got a little tight out of that corner. That gap's going to close down to just about 2 seconds. And there's lap traffic. That's Luke Bullard. Gap is now under 2.
Just 6 corners to go.
Can the 01 hold on? There, you see it right there, 1.7. Yeah, it's there. The 50 can taste it. What does the 3 do, though? The 3 is right there. The 3 might be slightly in the way. Here comes the 01.
3 basically just gets out of the way. It's down to 1.5 seconds.
I don't think the 50 is going to get there, Rick.
Nope, final corner. Drag race.
Yep, Lilith Peters wins in Chicago and locks herself into the next round.
Justin Lewis in second. Aiden Lucas finishes third. That's your podium. Once the rest of the field, a number of drivers hit the wall hard. It'll take us a few minutes to get everybody across, and we'll bring you the results here in Chicago.
Rick, let me tell you something. You know what that 10 car did? That 10 car did exactly what I thought one should do. You may not be the fastest, but you could finish and get a top 5. Up 21 spots. Rick, you know how fast, you know what his fastest lap was? A 1:30.0. That is a full half second. It's exactly 0.6 slower than Lilith Peters' fastest lap. That 10 car put on a fantastic drive today and showed you why you can start all the way back in 24th and still get a top 3.
Slow and steady wins the race. All right, so a number of drivers are just finishing out. Race is wrapping up. We're waiting for everybody to make it around, and we'll bring you the results. Number of drivers still on track as the field finishes up here in Chicago. But, you know, I have to say, John, this is kind of what I expected here in Chicago. It's a tough track for these drivers. I think we got results.
I think we do. On my side, it's showing we got some results. All right, here we go. This is the finishing results for tonight's Tech for Troop Cup Series event, playoff race number 2 here in the round of 16. Starting with Will Peters getting the win, locking herself into the next round with Justin Lewis in second. Aiden Lewis coming home in third, your biggest mover of the race, up 21 spots. Nathan Harper in fourth, Jeremy Flanagan in fifth, Chuck Van Squeek in sixth, Christopher Howell in seventh, Ty Bostic in eighth, Maxwell Caldwell in ninth, and Sammy Harrell in 10th.
In 11th, Aaron Jackson. 12th is Andrew Paleshi. 13th, Rodney Repacker. 14th is Todd Merkel. Luke Bullward in 15th. Marco Ruby in 16th. Chris Worrell in 17th. In 18th, Christoph Hall. 19th is Justin Horton. And Austin Call finishes in 20th.
In 21st, James Lowe. 22nd, Brandon Brown. 23rd, Greg Stone. 24th, Garrett Johnston. 25th, Jesse Vaughn. 26th, John Ledger. 27th, Dustin Coggin. 28th, Dalton Schley. 29th is William Corinne. 30th, Chad Jones. And 31st, Pete Woodrum.
All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get some interviews. Let's see if Aiden Lucas can join us in the booth. Aiden, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations on your finish.
Oh, thank you guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. You survived Chicago.
Oh, clean car, man. Can't ask for much more.
You know, John said that as we were up in the booth and kind of making our observations. We had picked you up a couple of times and said, you know, his car is clean. He's not the fastest lap being turned out there, but he's consistent.
Yeah, you know, coming from a P24 on the grid there, it's always an uphill day, so nice to turn it around into a top 3, right?
Oh, absolutely. No, you did a great job. And you know, this is a challenging track for a lot of oval drivers here. It's unforgiving and certainly easy to make a mistake and end your day. We saw that with a number of drivers, you know, James Lowe, for example. But no, you did a great job. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you guys. I had a couple of moments there where if I would have held the brake a little bit longer, I'd be firewall deep in the barrier. But I'd like to thank Go Racing Diecast as always.
Absolutely. And you know, any other shout outs besides that, or?
Yeah, Go Racing Diecast always, you know, go there for your diecast needs, and then Beyond Detailing, if you need your car detailed in the Bay Area, hit us up.
You got it. All right, there is Aiden Lucas finishing here in third at the Chicago Street Race. We'll go ahead and bring in Justin Lewis into the broadcast booth. Justin, congratulations on your P2 finish, man. So close.
Yeah, I was just telling her, I was like, man, about another lap and a half maybe, but I would have been out of fuel. So, like, I was at .1 at the line. So,
wow. We were
hard.
Last 10 laps we were just working, well, just kind of spotlighting your battle, yeah, this is a tough course.
Yeah, we never raced here before until this one. So when we heard about it last week, we're kind of like, maybe we should put a room up or something, like get some time in. So I had to start with the racing line. If that tells you how bad I am at road courses, usually I need to know the track before I could race the dang thing. So got comfortable with it, got down to a decent time, and then every other session didn't have it, and I now knew my braking points, so everything was pretty good. You just got to find a marker and go with it, which the numbers on the wall are deceiving. Like if you were to brake at the 4 marker at about any part of the racetrack, you were definitely in the fits. So, and I don't know about anybody else's stuff, but mine at least, even with nicer pedals and still the G920 wheel, but the Pro Logitech pedals, they're still touchy with this car, and too much brake will just lock it up, and then you're just on ice. So that's what kind of screwed me up a little bit early. I had a chance to basically kill Austin, and I chose to not do that, and I unlocked it up to get to the outside of him, so I hit the wall, and didn't get toe damage, but it did hurt that car pretty bad. And the fact that I could consistently run 129s there to catch Lilith toward the end, I was impressed. No tires, just fuel. And praying I ran the first stint just long enough to get there was the key to that one. But I was hoping she was going to get tangled in some lap traffic just to give me something. But I had to battle a couple lap guys a little bit there to get around. I think I got the 23 shot just because he kind of held me up a little bit. But that's racing. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
I think he's in the playoffs too, so I didn't want to do it too bad. I just want to be like, hey, on a mission here, please, thank you.
Well, I think he also was battling Lilith pretty hard too. We expect to see that with Chuck. But no, congratulations on your second place finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. I didn't get a chance to check the new broadcast out, but this place took too much focus to even take a peek tonight. So usually I could take a peek during the race and see what's going on, but you could forget about that here. So kind of can't wait to go back and watch that. This league is awesome, having a blast. These guys race hard, very fun. It was very interesting to see, everybody actually kind of get a chance to race that out, and most mistakes were on their own. Like, it didn't have help, which that's always good. So just shout out to the league, shout out to you guys. Shout out to my whole team. We did a good job this week actually getting on and working with each other to try to help each other out. Andrew Pleshy, Maxwell Caldwell, Austin Call, Todd Merkel, all of them. At least for this year, that's our group for this year, since we can't do team points. So next year we may have to pick the odd man out and see where we're at. But we'll put like a 23-11 deal. We'll have an associate. We'll have a backup car, But I just want to thank those guys. They're I know Austin and Andrew are the road course guys, and it was weird to see them both make mistakes, even after me making a mistake. And I was like, "Where are you guys at?" And they're like, "Dude, I wrecked like 20 laps ago." I'm like, what? Okay, because we have I know I have a problem sometimes, but Austin has that problem too, where we'll talk too much and like it's distracting. But it doesn't bug me because I'm used to it. So here we all made a big pact before we came up that last corner with Green's like, "Everyone, shut up. It's focus time," because it's just too much going on. Like, it's just a lot of stuff going on. But no, this is super fun. Super excited to see how next season goes for here. We can actually get to mess with these boys and girl for points, since Lilith did kick our butts a little bit here.
Yep.
But,
Lilith has been mean on the road courses. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping to dial it in a little better, to keep up with her just a little bit more. I think if Andrew didn't eat it there at the beginning, he would have probably had a pretty big lead, but he said he ate it, and that kind of didn't help him. But I want to give props to Max. He was struggling all week trying to get this thing figured out. He actually came back and qualified better than me and was running better than me. I just made a bold move to get some room. So, and then I think he ended up finally biting the bullet later. So all in all, fun group. We'll see you boys. Where are we at next week?
We're in Kansas.
Oh, thank you. Something I'm good at. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. There's your second place finish tonight, Justin Lewis, and let's bring Lilith into the booth.
See you boys.
All right, Lilith. Congratulations on your finish.
Thanks, Rick.
Man, we were watching you. This is a tough track. It really is. But you did a great job, and certainly surprised no one. You're always so great on these road courses, but this was a tough track.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. 4 for 4 on the road courses, by the way, now that you mention it. Hopefully I get to keep that streak going.
We hope so. We were always looking to, when we go to pick, who we're going to spotlight, who we see to be successful when it comes to road course, you're off at the top of the list. So.
Yeah, it was a struggle all race. Running into William Corn early, wheel damage, James Lowe dying in front of me.
Yeah, that was
more
pretty
wheel
impressive,
damage.
Actually.
I had to turn my wheel at 40 degrees to keep it straight, so it was just a battle to not lose first to Justin there. He almost got me.
It came close towards the end. He was down to maybe just about 2 seconds, but as he just mentioned, if there was one more lap, he may have caught you, but he was going to be out of fuel.
Yeah, me too. It was close. I had to clutch just to do my burnout.
Well, congratulations on your win. You punch your way into the next round of the playoffs. Glad to see you here. And any shout-outs tonight?
Sure, I'll shout out my team, Jeremy, Chad, Nathan. Jeremy in his first top 5, I think.
Absolutely.
He did really good.
Yep, great showing with Kaiju Cat tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I'll shout out my sponsor, Luna Steak Sauce. Buy that at Foxfire Foods. Now that I win, you get a discount, I think. And real quick shout out to Maxwell for letting me go there, like 5 to go or whatever. That was awesome.
Got it. All right, folks, there's your winner tonight in Chicago. Lilith Peters cements her way into the next round of the playoffs. John, a heck of a race here in Chicago.
Yeah, fantastic race. Congratulations, Lilith, on the win. Well deserved. Obviously, I would say the best road course or street course racer we have out here, and locked into the next round. So everybody make sure to tune in next week, see who we're going to lock into the round of 10. We got Kansas coming up, same time, same broadcast network. So make sure to tune in next week.
All right, folks, thanks again for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. We appreciate all of you who stayed with us through this broadcast. Next week, again, as John mentioned, we'll be at the mile and a half at Kansas and looking forward to some great racing. That's our cut race. 16 goes to 10 in one race. All right, good night, folks. Thanks for tuning in.